a Beyond the Mic original series. From the Beyond the Mic studios, this is Talkin' Dirt with Dirt. Produced and edited by JT Sloan. And without further ado, here is your host,
let's begin.
the Dirt Man, JT
All right,
Dirty.
welcome to Talking Dirt with
Let's
Dirt.
begin.
I am your host, the Dirt Man. And I've had a lot of faulty starts before, but man, today is really taking the cake. I got the one, the only Ayychem brother. Sorry for all the faulty
you're good,
starts
man.
and everything else with this damn interview today. But you know what? It's meant to happen because it's that good of people on there to test our wills.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm stoked to be here, for real. It's been a long time coming now.
Yes, I know. We had something on the books like before we ended season 3, and then everything else with Rap Mania came into play, and it was just like one thing after another. So it was just like,
It was like
Yeah.
either one of us constantly had something going on, literally.
and that's the thing though. Like when we're rising stars as such as ourselves, we're pulled in every direction.
For
And
sure.
if you don't want to limit yourself just to one thing, I've always made that apparent with everything that I do, that you don't want to limit yourself to just one thing, whether it's just singing, whatever it is.
Yeah. I fully agree with that. I feel like, I don't know, when I do like my stuff, like I edit my own videos, make my own cover arts, like I do all my own stuff because I don't want to be just a rapper or just a musician. I want to be able to like do a multitude of things, and you know what I mean?
Well, I just always like to have multiple options to fall back on. Like,
Yeah.
oh, geez, this avenue didn't work. Okay, whatever. We'll put it on the shelf and we'll go down this avenue. And
Fact.
I like that. And not only that, it creates a good adventure with stories to tell later on. Because
Oh yeah.
Ironically, just the other night I did an awards banquet for racing, and I ran into someone that I met through music up there, Punky Bruiser, who does Punky's mixtape on Twitch and stuff. And he was up there, doing his food service for his, daytime job. And so it was cool just to run into him, and it was at a racing event, so.
Yeah, that's dope.
But anyways, let's get on to you. Enough about my stories. So bringing you on, it's been a long time coming, but let's break it down for everybody. How about starting us off with where you're from, how long you've been doing this, and how'd you come up with the name?
All right, so my name is Austin, Austin Ayychem I go by. So I was born in Bangor, and then my parents got divorced when I was like 2 years old. So I ended up moving in with my dad down in Massachusetts, and I was raised there until I was like 14 and like in high school. And I ended up moving up to Maine with my mom, and I've been in Maine like ever since I was 14. So it's been, wow, like 12 years now, which is crazy. And I've been making music since like late 2015, early 2016. My buddy Josh Drugsta, as y'all would know him by, he like used to come over to my house all the time when I lived in Sanford, and he would just like come over and talk about music, and like I would see him be playing shows and shit like that, and I was like, bro, like you got to bring your mic over sometime. Like we got to make some music. Like I'll pay you. Let's make a little mixtape. And we ended up making one, and it's private on my SoundCloud because it is not very good. But it like got me like just like in like the whole vibe to like want to make music and like want to play shows and like want to create stuff that like other people resonate with or fuck with in like some sort of way. I just think it's like super cool. Like when I'm like at the shows, like I'd be on stage and shit, and like I see like all the people going hard. Like I've like wanted that since I was like in high school, to like see people like mosh or whatever to something that I've made. It's just mad cool to me. So yeah, I've been making music for like 7 years now, and it's been going great. Like steady, slowly but steady increasing, but I'm happy with the way things are going right now.
I gotta say,
And
for the few shows I have seen yet, you are absolutely right though. Like the crowd you guys bring, they go hard.
oh
Like,
yeah,
like because I remember when I was, that age, I would go to like Corn concerts and
yeah,
Slipknot concerts, and I'd see these guys, go hard like that, and I get in every once in a blue moon and go hard myself, but
of course,
then freaking like seeing you guys do it because I haven't seen it in so long. And
yeah.
I'm 34 now, and it's like all these concerts I go to, that a lot of them are being seated, you know,
Oh, dude, yeah, I know. I've
because
noticed
at the
that.
like State Theater or whatever it is. So it's I miss that a little bit. And then so seeing the crowd that you guys bring, preferably you and Drugs is what I'm referring to when I say you guys. Uh
Yeah.
the crowd that you guys bring, you guys go hard, and I gotta say it's a refreshing.
Hell yeah, man. I think it's really like I grew up like listening to a lot of like hardcore and like pop punk and punk music. So I used to go to a lot of local shows like out in Wyndham. There's this place called the Wyndham Vet Center. And
Yep.
like every single weekend, man, like when I was in high school, there was like show after show after show. So like we would go out there, drink a bunch of PBRs and just like listen to some hardcore bands. And it was super fun. Like that's like really where like me like wanting to like play music of some sort kind of started is like I was like, oh, I want to be in a band or something, like this looks really fun.
Yep.
And then like I realized how hard it would be to actually start like a band and get everybody together to practice all the time and like just synchronizing schedules with like four or five other people. And I realized that I could make music like kind of on my own, so I just started doing that.
Yeah. Well, and it's clearly you know what you're doing. I mean, the shows I've DJ'd for you guys and all that stuff. I mean, I I don't try to pick favorites when I go to shows. That's one thing I'm totally against.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say, out of everybody that is in your, I would say your group of your shows that we've gone to, um, yours is definitely one of the most I resonate to. Especially that one that you wrote about your friend that passed away. Uh,
Yeah, Rude Boy.
yeah, that one gets me every time. I resonate to those types of songs, and
Yeah.
I respect that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I will probably like unless I make another song like in that type of like vein like for him, I probably will like never stop playing that song.
Yeah.
That he was like my best fucking friend. So I just and like we always wanted to make music together and do shows and shit together. So now that like I do get to do it, I feel like I don't know, I like giving him a shout out each time just so like he knows that like I'm still doing it, you know?
Oh, I get that. I've got a lot of friends that actually was doing music or starting out in music. One of my buddies, Trey, he ended up passing away. He got shot down right in
Yeah.
Portland, and but fucked up thing was had nothing to do with him. It was the people that was shooting up the place. It was because the place they had paid for recording time and they ended up showing up late and they wouldn't reimburse them or something like that. So they got
Damn.
this to come back at a later time to shoot up the place, and that's what they did just to get back at the recording
That's
studio.
so fucked up. Like over a fucking recording session, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and he was just happened to be outside smoking a cigarette when they drove by. He was
That's
there.
fucked.
He was there recording, and he was taking a smoke break, in between his session. And yeah, and the effed up thing was I was supposed to be there that night, and I canceled on him because I had to work late.
Dude, man, I really, really, really feel that honestly. Like when my buddy died, like I was trying to like we were doing like a bunch of Zans and stuff like when I lived with him and I was
Yep.
trying to get like out of that like whole
Yep.
scene and situation. And the day that he died, he was like calling me a whole bunch and I was just straight up like ignoring his calls all day because like I was like, nah, like I'm not trying to go hang out with him and do Zans and like all this
Yeah.
shit. So I just like straight up just did not answer him, like didn't text him back, didn't answer his calls. And then like my other friend ended up calling me at like 2 in the morning and she was like, Jake's dead. Like the first thing she says on the phone. And I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? And it just fucks me up because like I lived with him for mad long, and like
Yeah.
every time like there was like like I felt like he was going out or like overdosing, like I was always the one that was there to like bring him back. Like I've had to give that kid CPR like 10 times at least. So like it just fucks me up knowing that like I could have been there that day, but I wasn't because like I was just specifically ignoring him. So
Yeah. Well, yeah,
shit's
no,
fucked.
and that's the thing, man. Like, it's those shoulda, woulda, coulda type scenarios and all that stuff, and you can sit there all night long, tossing and turning, thinking, could I have done something different? It would have changed the outcome, or
Yeah,
vice versa, could have been me, and that's
that's
the other
true.
thing, and because that's what I think about. Could I have saved Trey, or would I have been
You
shot
could have been
down
out there
too?
with him.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. And that's the thing. I was still smoking cigarettes at the time. So
yeah,
I probably would have been. But
yeah,
the way they do the sessions there is a flip flop also. So like while one's out, doing a smoke break, they're recording someone else.
yeah,
So it could have been one of two scenarios where either A, I would have been inside while I got shot down,
yeah,
or vice versa. I would have been outside with him and I would have been shot down too.
yeah, man. It's
So,
fucked. It's
so
like
I
you always got like you always think back on things that have happened, like the negative shit, and like there's always things that I feel like you can pull out and be like, oh well, I wish I did this differently. But like in the long run, I feel like things kind of just work out the way that they're supposed to. And as fucked up as it really is, like I don't know, I feel like there's some sort of grand plan.
and the way I also look at it too is if the long story short with any scenario like that is if you don't learn from it and you don't grow from it, then they kind of died in vain.
Yeah, no, I for
So
sure, for sure.
and I always take that, responsibility on my shoulder and kind of move on from that and use it as a wise man's tale to make sure that, okay, well, that unfortunately don't want to have beef with, certain people that are, but then again, you just don't know. You
Yeah, you
nowadays,
really don't,
you just don't
especially
know.
nowadays.
Yeah. But
It's
let's
fucking
get back
crazy.
to you and how things are blossoming for you.
Oh yeah.
So with you
Oh, by the way, I just want to shout out Jake Kump. I love you, bro. I just wanted to say that before we got off that topic.
no, I hear you, man. So yeah, let's move on to with that being said, we went over, where you're from, how you got that, but where'd you get your influences? Like I know, like you said, drugstore was part of that and all that, but like who were you like growing up listening to? You're like, did you listen to Tupac? Did you listen to anything like old school like that, or is it more new school?
So my dad is actually a DJ. So like I grew up listening to a lot of like 90s like rap and stuff like that. Honestly, I don't really remember too much because I started listening to like hardcore music when I was like 10, but he listened to like a ton of he listened to like Beastie Boys and like he fucking loved Limp Bizkit, dude. And like I know he listens to like Tupac and Biggie, of course, but like he was always like trying to show me like music that he was listening to when he was growing up. So I feel like that's kind of where I got my like love for like the rap part of it. And then as I grew up, I kind of got more into like the rock, like hardcore punk type of stuff. So I feel like I kind of like put those two styles together because I was listening to like it was like all like pop punk and like hardcore. Like I don't know if you listen to like Counterparts or Neck Deep or anything like that, but there's like
I've
a
listened to a little bit. I mean,
yeah,
I they filter through my playlist,
yeah,
but it's nothing like like I don't go looking for them.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
I
I
I
don't know.
I kind of got stuck in my 90s, and because I was a product of, I was born late 80s and grew up in the 90s. So,
Yeah,
it was one of those things that like 90s just always holds dear to me. Late 90s, early 2000s, that era is
yeah.
always hold dear to me.
The early 2000s are definitely like I feel like that's like it is for me with the early 2000s because I was born in 97. So then I ended up growing up in like the early 2000s and like my whole childhood was like that era of time and music and style. So I feel like a lot of stuff from back then is like coming back now too, which is wild. Like the mullets and everything that people have nowadays. It's
Oh,
crazy.
it's funny because a lot of that's transitioning in, and even music wise, like in the rock genre, I hear a lot of that 90s style coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's good because I think that a lot of it was kind of drifting away to a whole different genre, it felt like.
I definitely feel that. I like got kind of disinterested in like rock music after like maybe like senior year of high school because everything started just being so like drastically different than it was. I
Yeah.
kind of was like, and that's kind of when I moved over to like I like rap. Like I don't know, it's kind of like alternative rap. I wouldn't really consider it just straight up rap because it's like way more like punk and melodic influence than like just straight up like boom bap rap or stuff like that.
See, for my punk rap genre, I grew up with a lot of Cottonmouth Kings
Oh
and
yeah,
Tech Nine and
yeah.
them Underground and Suburban Noise Records and stuff like that. So when I think rap and punk and all that stuff, that's what my go-to is, anytime I DJ, you'll hear me. I'm always playing a little bit of Cottonmouth Kings.
Hell yeah. The first thing that I think that like was like that genre for me, I think was Linkin Park that I
Yep.
got like really into, where they were like kind of blending rock and rap. I fucking loved Linkin Park when I was like 11 years old.
Another band that honed that in pretty good was Hollywood Undead. They,
Oh yeah, I love them too, man. That's just like unlocked a memory.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, see, and the thing is, like Linkin Park, that they were probably definitely the first to bring it for me, as
Yeah,
far as the mixing the two as well. And then there was a lot of like there was a collab songs that stand out in my head too. Like there was one with Black Eyed Peas and Papa Roach,
yeah,
Anxiety. That one was a perfect blend of that, and
yeah.
like Linkin Park, I mean, they did it real well. And then, like you said, Limp Bizkit, they did it good too.
The
But
whole new metal scene.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. But so with that being said, them being your influences and all that stuff, you've been doing this, you said now for like 7 years. Like, what's your discography right now? Like, how many songs you got out there?
Total, I actually I don't even have like an album out or anything. I have one mixtape and it's private on SoundCloud because like I like released a whole bunch of music when I was starting for like the first couple years. And then like when I got sober, I ended up going to rehab at the end of 2019 and like I got out and I was just kind of like wow, like all this music kind of sucks and like you could tell I'm super fucked up in a lot of it. So I just like I privated like almost everything and then just kind of started from scratch. So I probably have like 12, 13 songs out now that are like songs that like I feel like I'm proud of. And then I have probably like 6 or 7 more that I'm working on for like an album because I've literally never dropped one and I want to drop something like cohesive, like a whole project.
Yeah,
I
I
have like
dig that.
I, I feel like I have some fucking crazy features on it too that I haven't like released yet. I dropped one that was I have Bill Saber. I have a feature with him coming out in like a couple weeks that I'm probably gonna be doing at the next show that I do. And I don't know if you ever heard of Lil B, the bass god. He's like an underground rapper and he I don't know if you ever heard of the rapper that cursed Kevin Durant.
I saw an interview about it, but I
Yeah.
don't know of.
So basically, the bass god said that he wanted to play horse with Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant said yes and then backed out. So Lil B said that he was going to curse him to never win a title.
Oh,
And then after
jeez.
he didn't win a title until he took the curse off of him, which
Oh
is kind
God.
of fucking crazy, honestly. But he's like an underground like legend, so to speak. If you've heard like that new song like Swag in Ohio,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he made that song, but I got him on
Okay,
my tape, which is fucking crazy to me because I've listened to him since I was like 13 years old.
gotcha. So because the reason why I was asking was the way you hold yourself when you do your songs on stage. I would guess that you at least had an album or two out. You know,
Yeah, no, not yet.
that's why I asked. Where's the discography at? Because I'm like, I was trying to do a little bit of research myself earlier before starting this. I was like having a little rough time there. So.
Yeah, I think I have like 10 songs on my Spotify right now, and then I have two more that are on my SoundCloud because I haven't dropped them on Spotify yet. But yeah, I think that like after I got sober, I just really refrained. I kind of like limited myself from dropping things because I didn't want to just keep dropping stuff that like I wouldn't listen to myself. So
Yeah.
like I like didn't release anything for like a year and a half, and then I just like I had a few songs that I was proud of, so I started releasing stuff again. Now like I made a joke the other day. I was like, yeah, I drop one song a year, but they're always fire. But I'm trying to step that up and like make sure that I am like kind of releasing stuff more. That's why I'm trying to like I have like multiple songs right now like that are being worked on, so that way I can have things to drop like periodically instead of like only like once every 6 months or whatever.
So, there's a lot of different ways that people do it. I mean, because I did it where I drop, 2 or 3 songs a year. And,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I did it for a while. And then once I, got a cohesive, amount of them, then I put it together as an album to put on Spotify. What I did was I'd release them on YouTube as singles,
Yeah.
and then I would group them together as an album and drop it on Spotify.
Yeah,
Um,
that's smart.
that way it would get people interested, whatnot, through the YouTube, and get the views
Yeah.
up on YouTube, and then drop it on Spotify where everyone's going to have it as a streaming platform as is.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it worked out pretty good for me, but I'm working on my second album now, but I haven't quite
Oh yeah.
figured out the prime focus. I like to have a prime focus for the whole album.
Oh, word, like a concept.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So there's a build up to an outcome.
Yeah,
I
that's
almost
dope.
I almost think of it as storytelling as a, like a mini series. The way you would, do a mini series for, a TV show. I try to do that with my songs, okay, there's a
Yeah.
start and a finish,
Yeah,
regard.
that's dope. I've like tried to write like story songs before, and I feel like it's just I struggle with like trying to like tell a cohesive story and continuously rhyme. I feel like it's like I don't I think I just am not the type of person to make that type of music, to be honest. But it's like really interesting to me, and I like listening to it a lot.
It it doesn't all necessarily have to be cohesive. Like, I'm obviously going to have my fan songs I throw out there that, gets people pumped up and all that stuff. And I'm going to have that try to be adjacent to the other songs that I'm going to do that's going to tell those stories,
Yeah.
because there's certain songs I'll talk about confidence and building up my confidence. And then the songs that are pure ego is like after I built up that confidence, I'll do those ego songs that get the crowd pumped up. And,
Yeah.
so it stays adjacent. Like, okay, I felt the build up in the other songs leading up to this song. And then it's like after I get to that ego point, it's like I deflate again.
Fuck yeah. I feel like I kind of tried to do something similar like when I perform, but like it's not like with like the songs per se, like telling a story, but like I try to like start off a little bit slower and then just like progressively get more and more hype and like let it build up as the set continues. Cause I feel like if you just like start it banging like right away, people will be interested, but they might lose interest if like you start going to slower songs after that. So
Yeah.
I've tried to like start a bit slower and then let it get rowdy by the end of the set.
I agree. The only thing I differ is, like I said, if you're once again trying to tell that story on your live performance,
Yeah.
because usually you try to do like about 5 songs on a live performance, which is
Yeah.
not, obviously you're going to be on average, it's not everyone's whole album.
Yeah,
So you have to pick your, fan favorites and what's going to move the crowd the most and all this other stuff.
facts.
Um, I always make sure I throw, like, say if it's 5 songs, I always throw 1 to 2 low songs and have 3, fire songs.
Yeah, like hype ones, ego
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll do probably 1 fire one to start off, and then the 2 low songs, and then do the last 3, 2 or 3 with
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get, yeah, because then like you get people hype right from the start, and then like they kind of get into a groove with the slower ones, and then just get right back into the hype shit.
It's kind of like, let's
That
get
that definitely makes sense.
it's like, hi, my name is, and then it's like, let's get intimate for a minute. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then like, all right, well, now that we're intimate, I'm gonna give you some fire for the next freaking 10 minutes. So sit back.
fuck yeah.
So but anyways, so with that being said, what's next for you?
All right. So I will say coming up, I have a song releasing in a couple of weeks called Let It Die with Bill Saber. That's going to be on all platforms. I just recently dropped a song with my homie I Am Blaze that is on SoundCloud and YouTube, and it's called Degenerate. It's probably like my favorite song that I've made yet. It's super fucking hard, and like it's a style that like I haven't really done before. It's pretty intense, and it's mad fun to perform. So I'm looking forward to doing that one at the next show. Other than that, I got a couple shows lined up. I have one on the 29th with Hypno and Snowy and all them. And then I think it's called Lethal Holiday Tour. It's like the dude that runs Lethal Weekend.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Fury and I don't even know what, that's so bad. I don't know the other guy's name. It's like Gibby something, but Fury is like one of the headliners on it. And the dude was like, "Yo, you want to be on this show in Portland? It's December 10th." So I was like, fuck yeah, it's a good opportunity. I feel like it'll be pretty packed in there. So I'm looking forward hella to that. It's not really like my style of like artists, but I really feel like, I don't know, I feel like you can gain fans from any kind of group, like any kind of crowd, if you just do your best, make people like it, make people like you.
Right. No.
But yeah, other than that, like I don't really, not too much going on, other than just like me making music and playing the shows that I do have. I'm just chilling, man.
I get, man. I'm just trying to warm back up after having a long vacation. So
Yeah.
but so how about this? Why don't you tell everyone where they can find all your music, and give out a shout out to whoever you need to real quick, because we're at the 2-minute warning.
All right. So my name is Ayychem. You can find me on pretty much all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. It's literally just Ayychem on everything. So you should be able to find me pretty easily. I do want to shout out, Isaac, Kazi, my boy, Drugsta, because without them two, I probably would not be making music right now. My brother, Jake Kumpf, rest in peace. I love you, bro. And I'm still gonna keep doing this for as long as I can. I wanna shout out my awesome girlfriend who's behind me because she's super supportive. She comes to every single show. She's always in the front, singing along and videoing, and that, I don't know, that shit's awesome to see, like
Yes.
anybody singing along to your songs. It's dope as hell. And like Lee, shout out to Lee for always like throwing me on fucking shows, and shout out to you for always killing it on the fucking boards, man, for real.
I just learned on the job. That's literally,
Yeah,
I bought the equipment and I practiced like 3 or 4 times before starting to DJ with you guys.
that's fucking dope though, man, for real.
I just
I
did to
always
I
I
just did
always
to
went through
save the
my,
shows.
yeah, dude, it's worked out hella well because I feel like everyone loves like you and your presence.
I appreciate, because that's what I'm there for. I'm there for you guys. I was there to just to save the shows, because some nights we just didn't have a DJ, and I was like,
Yeah,
what? I got the bankroll. I'm gonna go buy some stuff and like make it happen. So let's make it happen.
fuck yeah, man.
Well, man,
Also, one last thing I just want to say, shout out to anybody who listens to my music at all. I appreciate you, and I hope that some of my songs will resonate with you and you feel some type of way.
All right, man. This was Talking Dirt with Ayychem. Almost got myself.
Gotcha.
All right, brother. Take it easy. We're
You
Talking
too, man.
Dirt, and we're out.
Thanks.